Oh God, I need more Ashley Graham in my life. Woo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, you fix that gun for me, lovely. And you keep zooming in camera very, very slowly. And with that said, folks, here's today's video. So today, ladies and gentlemen, is the 18th of August 2024. We're 4 months away from December. I can't wait. But right now, I feel like consuming half a bottle of Jack Daniels because honestly, thanks to Jeff, aka Smash JT, he dropped a banger of a video last night regarding the Black Myth Wukong reviews. Now, for some strange reason, this missed me a couple of days ago. I didn't actually know Screen Rant, of all people, have come under fire. It almost seems to have distracted away from IGN and Mitch Saltzman and his bizarre and peculiar review about the game, which is reviewing in two stages. One when it's in its buggy stage, and then the next one is when it's going to be fully resplendent. Of course, I said resplendent, and splendid will be a word that comes into full operation later on today.
In Advent Children, she has larger eyes and a rounder face, with a remake backlash resulting in some Japanese players to complain that she is long-faced with angular features, going as far to claim that she now looks like a Western man.
White chicks.
Something's here.
Who is this hero?
Could this really be it?
On Kung Fu Hot Dog. He's the team here to motorboat fun bags and kick ass. And he's all out of titties.
It's a f***ing video game.
When you hear the name Screen Rant, I mean, to me, it evokes a review site for movies and television. It's been around since 2003. And fair enough, when you go over to their actual Wikipedia entry, it's an entertainment website that offers news in the fields of television, films, and I would say actually now video games. But if you look directly below, what does it say here? 20 years reporting on the movie and TV industry. It's a bit like Angry Joe, right? When you see that guy talking about video games, all of a sudden he makes that switch to movies and television shows. And it's not quite the same to me because Angry Joe is synonymous with playing video games and giving you his angry reactions to them. So that kind of shift can either divide an audience or bring in more people. It really depends, or you want to stay relevant. And I think in the case of Screen Rant, they do want to stay relevant. But what gets even more hysterical here, Black Myth Wukong review, and this again from Screen Rant. The Souls-like action hype train is a little off the rails. What an awful play on words. Honestly, get a bunch of kindergarten kids, they can do a better job coming up with much better articles, and you just pay them with peanuts and pizza afterwards. So here we go. Are you ready for this, folks? Because some of you might not be aware of this. They've given it a 3, okay, which is terrible. Again, an insult to game science. What are the pros of Black Myth Wukong? The combat is fluid and fun. Cinematography can be breathtaking at times. Because yes, it's a video game, but you're bringing in the filmic element into it, which I suppose to a degree that makes a bit of sense. Great diversity in items and mechanics. Since when do items become a diverse feature in a video game? That doesn't make any sense. Here are the cons. Game performance is unpolished. Okay. Lacking in inclusivity and diversity. Gameplay becomes repetitive over time. Well, when we find out who this person is, because their name has since been removed to protect them from, I don't know, online harm. Oh my God. But again, when I get into that, you'll understand my feelings towards this person. You talk about a video game that lacks inclusivity and diversity, right? And it's repetitive over time. So any video game where it's cover and combat, you're poking your head out, you're shooting the bad guys, you're shooting the grubs in Gears of War, you're shooting the bad guys in Uncharted, that becomes repetitive, but if you're enjoying it, then why is it repetitive? So this gets even more hysterical because we're talking about Journey to the West, 1592, a novel literally about Chinese mythology and folklore, right? Monkey, the TV series, did a good job of evoking that, and Monkey had what you would call a diverse class. Masasaki Yaki, the lead guy, yep, you wouldn't call him a traditionally Chinese person, but he fits the role of the monkey god. And I find it so hilarious. This all ties back in with Sweet Baby Inc., who tried allegedly to extort $7 million from Game Science in China. They're saying Game Science that Rebecca Valentine, that IGN hack writer, has got a vendetta for. Absolutely, because again, with poor Chinese translation, again, all these supposed allegations were coming out into the forefront.
Thank you so much to the New York Video Game Critics Circle for this honor. This was such an amazing group of writers to be celebrated with. Thank you to all my colleagues at gamesindustry.biz and IGN for being just incredible, supportive teams, and especially my editors who have spent time and energy and thought to make my writing and investigative work better. Brennan Sinclair, Matthew Handahan, James Batchelor, Joe Scrubbles, Kat Bailey, Tina Amini, and Matt Kim.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, any video game you've got in your collection, I'm sure the studios behind those have certain behind the scenes shenanigans you might not be aware of. But is that our job as a consumer to care about? No, it's not. A cinematic masterpiece with poor performance. But yet, if it had diversity, if it had black people in it, because we're going to say that, we're going to call it outright, that's what they're looking for, is Sweet Baby Inc., who, by the way, headlined by a mixed-race woman called Kim Belair, who hates white men apparently, is telling you need to have more black people in your video games, then you're barking up the wrong tree, honey. You seriously are. Editor's note, the author's name has been removed for their safety. The studio behind Black Myth Wukong, Game Science, has previously been accused of fostering a toxic environment for its workers. The 2023 allegations include sexualized comments against women, misogyny, which apparently now in the UK, where I live unfortunately, might become a hate crime. So my days of talking about ladies' bums, boobs and thighs might be numbered. But you know what? I'm going to proclaim that I'm now a she, and you can stick me in a women's prison, and I think I'll be very happy in there. Fat phobia, because yes, that's a real thing, ladies and gentlemen. And much more. More details can be found here. And it takes you to this gamer.com article, which I talked about previously. And oh, lo and behold, a video game that lacks female diversity has a very beautiful woman right here as the headlining photograph, which is so strange. So this comes courtesy of a report from IGN. And it goes on to talk about Game Science and how there's a poster allegedly reading, "Fatties should F off." As a person who's not fat, I find it very funny actually. And if you want to cancel me, well, go ahead, punk. Make my day. But here we go, folks. Here is the person that Screen Rant must protect. Her name is Samar Abedian. Of course, I hear that name, I know quite clearly she's pro-Palestinian. She probably has hashtag Free Palestine in her bio, right? So that's the reason why they're protecting her, because she lives in jolly old England like I do. And of course in England, if you're of the Muslim faith and you get harassed outside, guess what? It's Islamophobia. You can get arrested for that. Islamophobia, folks, is a made-up terminology. It does not exist. It's there to protect a certain majority of people. And of course, if you put two and two together, this is what they're playing victim about right here. It's not because she's a female and she wrote this ridiculous article, this review about Black Myth Wukong. What, because it's got black in the title, you expected diversity? Are you crazy, Samar? Oh my goodness me, poor woman. And she talks about her favorite games being Minecraft, Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, Elden Ring, and Fallout 4. Well, honey, I've got better taste than you when it comes to video games. And thanks to Jeff at Smash JT, he's highlighted her here. By the way, I've got to say this to you folks, don't go after this woman or any of the people that work with her. If you're a budding content creator, do your own thing on YouTube. Make a video about her. That one's especially for you, Samar. And ridicule them. As long as it's not hateful speech and you're just calling out the truths of these people and their misguided reviews or thought processes when it comes to a video game, do that, because honestly, laughter is the best medicine. Ridiculing others who have the IQ of a snail, yeah, absolutely take the mickey out of them. They deserve it. Learning the law. Okay, so we get into that part here, which is fine. There are no Albanians in this Chinese mythology. -1 point, absolutely. But if you can't get Albanians into a 1592 Chinese folklore game, then what else can you do, folks? Oh my word. Now, Sunny Prophet over at Twitter X said the following. Ms. Abedian has no reviews prior to Black Myth Wukong. Her name has been removed from the Screen Rant review and her LinkedIn deleted, which it has been. Her previous job was sales marketing and PR, and she doesn't have social media presence, which again is almost true, but I found something, but I can't even access it at the moment. But yeah, now this takes me to the fact, and again, it's only thanks to Smash JT that he found this out, but Ms. Abedian works for Splendid Communications. Oh my god. And these are her two LinkedIn profile photographs right here. It's definitely her, because if I highlight it, you can see that it comes up with she's a senior writer at Screen Rant. And funny how she looks like that, but back here she looks like that. So I am guessing, and I know many of you are going to say this in my comments, she's had filters done, Instagram filters, Facebook filters, to make her look a different way. In fact, I would even argue this photograph right here of Samar looks like it's been reconstructed from AI. But then again, I could be absolutely insane and out of my mind. So here's Splendid Comms, where Samar works, and I'm at 13 minutes already. So if you want to be considered as an employee for this firm, so this particular post is a social media intern. If you go on down right here, what are your preferred pronouns? She, her, he, him, they, them, other. Now, if you specify other, if you answered other to your preferred pronouns, please use this box to specify if you would like to. Okay, right. So if I prefer not to have a pronoun, does that automatically disqualify me from the interviewing process? I do wonder, because they're all about inclusivity and diversity. So here's the network for splendidcomms.com. And you got the young Gen Zer right there sticking his tongue out, or is that a she? So yeah, I could be misgendering this person unintentionally. It's quite awful, isn't it? About Splendid Communications, from our strategic thinking to the way we generate ideas to the way we work with our clients, our first starting point is real people living real lives in the real world. How many times do you have to use the word real? My God. Brief us and we'll challenge you. Don't you mean you'll challenge us with your brain dead thinking? And we'll collaborate as if we're an extension of your team. What? So you hide in the shadows and you whisper over people's shoulders and say to them, that person is too white, remove them from the scenario immediately.
All my life, I've only been able to think about one thing. White women. And now, at last, I'm going to have one!
Equity, diversity, inclusion. So is this a new buzzword I should be aware of? I don't remember seeing EDI in any coverage I've made in the last few months on this channel. So maybe this has flown over my head, but let's be aware, folks. Let's bookmark this. EDI. If you see that popping up anywhere, let me know. But last, and certainly by all means least, Splendid have a video on YouTube, which has 1 like and 1 dislike. I mean, talk about engagement. 58 subscribers, 1,000 views 2 years ago. In fact, do they have any other video? Oh, they do. Oh my word. What the hell?
Should sandwiches be crisp in or crisp out?
Are you kidding me, dude?
Are you crisp in or crisp out?
Or do you shit in or do you shit out?
Are
What?
you crisp in or crisp out with your sandwiches?
Oh, crispin. No.
So you've got high-profile celebs like Gary Lineker, who's definitely boarded the woke train in many aspects, if he's supporting dog shit like this.
Nice roast chicken sandwich, salt and vinegar crisps. Ooh.
It's not even a discussion. It's crisp.
And you get Gordon Ramsay, Gordo of all people, embroiled in these shenanigans by Splendid. Oh gosh, this is just hilarious. Honestly, it is. Oh my word. Splendid Communications are definitely not what I thought they would be. This is pretty terrible, but let's have a look at their show reel right here. Strategy, hello, media relations. Yeah, we just seen this fool, experiences. Hello, little tinker. Let's go here. To be winners, yes, and help us make a difference. Person of diversity, of course. To the planet. Create, collaborate, splendid, work with us. No, thank you, actually. You sound like a bunch of horrible activists, and I want to stay well away from them, don't you? So that was a bit of a mouthful today, folks. And of course, that's absolutely what she said last night.
And now comes the interesting part. Let your fingers get in there and have a good old rub-a-dub.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Samar Al-Badian was on a podcast. I can't find it at the moment because if I click on the link right below right here, it'll just take me to her LinkedIn page, which is, oh my God, no longer available. What is going on here? Oh my God. No. Oh, wait a minute. Huh? Oh, hang on a second. What's going on here? This is really weird. I kid you not. She has just resurrected her LinkedIn page. This is hilarious. At 3:22 in the afternoon on the 18th of August 2024. She's back, ladies and gentlemen. My God, Miss Albadian has a backbone.
Yes, hallelujah.
And she's a she, her. Of course she is. It's the only way to join Splendid Communications, right? She's a freelance journalist. Oh my God. Look, the best thing for her is not to vanish into the ether. Stay out there. No one's going to come after you, love. It's not about protecting me because it's about Islamophobia. Oh my dear God. That's such a shock. This is an interesting development, folks. Between March to September of 2023, Samar Al-Badian worked for Splendid Communications. She was associated with them, as it states on her LinkedIn profile. During her time as an intern, she was on the Committee for Equality, Diversity and Inclusion, EDI. My contributions involved helping support my line manager, who I'm going to assume was of the Caucasian persuasion, with the Diversity Matters emails, which Samar would write because whiteys weren't allowed near them, and sent out during important cultural calendar moments, those special moments, hosting workshops and cultural charity events, which sounds like you're making money for nothing, right? And supporting at Lunch and Learns, when we would discuss current social issues of interest. Wow, how riveting, how exciting, how delightful.
The podcast invitation for Aliyah Ayaz.
Innovative bowel movement dedicated to empowering youth leadership in decolonization, international peace and security. So this is coming out sometime this month. It might be out already. So in other words, if you want to decode this ridiculous message statement right here, it's how we social engineer the rather precious, fragile youths we have today, the non-feral kind, so they can understand what decolonization actually means, because white man and white woman are terrible people. y'all. So what do you think, folks? EDI, equity, diversity, inclusion. Oh my god, I'm just getting a temperature thinking about that horrible catchphrase.
The whole goblin-like spirit. Did you see? That's why I call them goblins.
I did.
These are literal goblin forces we're up against, and I feel sorry for them.
When you talk about video games, folks, we need people who are passionate about video games. Gaming journalism is down the toilet, but like a bad turd, it stays afloat and you have to continue to flush it down before you call the plumber. Absolutely absurdity, isn't it? But if you enjoyed this video today, folks, and I might have another one coming out tomorrow regarding Call of Duty, but don't hold me to that one yet. That one by far is even more insane than what I had planned for you today. But honestly, splendidcoms.com, whatever you want to call them, don't go and harass them. I think they're a bunch of jokers and they're living in La La Cuckoo Land, which is the best place for them, to be honest. Obviously, a bunch of Gen Zers who have no clue what the real world is actually like and have failed to touch grass by all accounts. So if I were you folks, and if you were me, you should come back for the next video.
Tune in next time, Space Freaks, and hear your doobry go ping in the next gripping installment of
Kung Fu Hot Dog.